Okay guys, we're in an organic bean field and I shut the tractor off. We're going to talk about what's going on here. And so for the first time this year, I do have the Krause cultivator out. The 4600 series cultivator, and it is the K-tine. And so what we have going on in this particular field, we have excellent weed control, but there are spots there, you can see it a little bit right there, where we had 2 cultivation passes. There's some crabgrass coming, but we had 2 cultivation passes, and after the second one it rained. You know, I've been fighting the rain all year, and so what happened on this hill was I was doing that with the Danish tine, and at that point in time the grass was so thick in the row that it was plugging the Danish tine that has 5 sweeps in between each row. And so, and then it rained. I don't know whether it was that night or the next day, but to make a long story short, all that grass just re-rooted right back down. None of it died. And so it was a situation that calls for a cultivator like the Krause here. There is a sorghum. Of course, this was a sorghum field last year. Anyway, when you're cultivating beans this big, you can see there is a little bit of distress from the tire on that row there. But the Krause is doing exactly what I planned it to do. And so I was over there, you know, in the real grassy part of the field over there, where it was basically a solid mat of grass, and there were lumps where I had lifted out with the other, the Danish tine, the aggressive Danish tine, because it had built up a plug of grass. And so I have not had to stop one time with this cultivator. It went right through those lumps of, you know, partially re-rooted and partially not killed at all. It went right through those lumps. On the soil surface here, the Krause is giving us, see, there's our little friend. That is a crabgrass that just re-rooted down after the last cultivation. Well, I've grabbed him now and drug him along a little ways, and if it doesn't rain now for 5 days like they're saying, there's a pretty good chance that he will not re-root down. And so the Krause is moving an insane amount of dirt. I guess I ought to walk over here. There's all of our little grasses that are just re-rooting. There's a velvet leaf that re-rooted after that last cultivation. When you have wet underneath and more wet coming all the time, that happens. So this is where we have not gone yet. And you can see there are weeds, like that little fella right there that came in between the 2 cultivations. There's crabgrass, yellow foxtail. There's a morning glory trying to grow across the row. But the Krause don't care about that. He goes through an insane amount of residue. Like I was thinking, he is working perfectly, and he is making these real nice ridges. Real nice ridges. So I'm not going to be able to film running, guys. I have no filming person today, and it does take most of my concentration, because one of the unintended consequences of the Krause is that it does pull hard. And so to stay on the row here and manage my tractor, it does take a fair amount of concentration. But suffice it to say that this 6-row Krause 4600 series cultivator, it likes the 90 horsepower that I have hooked to it, and it's going to need most of that 90 horsepower to run. One more thought about the K-tines. There are a few spots in this field where the soybeans are you know, very small. And the nice thing about the K-tine is that they are setting the dirt up against the road very nicely, very gently, as opposed to a C-shank. And so they are not burying the plants, even the plants that are just, you know, 4 inches tall. The K-tine cultivator is laying the dirt up against them very nicely, evenly from both sides, and not burying or rolling over the plant, you know, with dirt. So, for certain situations, the Krause cultivator really does excel. So I will try filming going forward here one time, hand holding the camera. And it's kind of tricky. The 2 units that are in the row, I do have them set a hair deeper. You know, one of the unfortunate realities of repeated road traffic is that this ground in the row here gets packed down, and the Krause is coming along and quote cutting a new layer there. I'm running like a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch deeper. And so even in the row here where the tire track is, there's a real good ridge there. But and it's not turning up clods. That's very nice as well. So a nice thing about those teeth, the K-tine teeth, is that they are just vibrating along and they don't roll ribbons. And so that is a very pleasant surprise. They're working very, very nice. But anyway, that's the video. We are killing all these baby grass, and I think that the weather is finally going to cooperate now. They're saying, you know, we'll have 6 to 10 dry days now, temperatures in the 90s or close to 90, and so hopefully some of those grasses will die. There's a prime candidate from last time. Look at this. Last time I just grabbed him, he was in the row, and I just pushed him to the side. He'd already formed sod in between those big rainfall events. There's a crabgrass for you on fertile ground. But anyway, the Krause don't care about him. The Krause will go right through him like he's butter. And so very happy that it's a good cultivator for a certain set of circumstances, flowing an insane amount of residue and moving a nice amount of dirt without rolling ribbons. Thanks for watching, guys.